I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by my co-host with Harrison Bader like hair.
Yeah, it's a weird ordeal. Katie is just proving to be childish.
Which is why I don't feel I would give $5 million to Jack Campbell.
I don't know. Baseball is one of those sports where anyone who makes the playoffs really can be a contender.
I think the Padres definitely do it.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell gets traded.
Kyrie Irving does have the track record of not being a great locker room fit, or even good locker room fit.
Bader got some luscious locks. I gotta say it.
This is Zach Bigley, the broadcaster for the Frisco Rough Riders, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin. You guys better subscribe.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. Once again, it's the play-in. And of course, the man that shares the same dislike for this, specifically the scheduling for the play-in, and that is my co-host, Austin.
Yeah, this is every year they make it tough on us because the playoffs start the day after the play-in. It's just difficult for Kevin and I, but we're going to get it done. It's fine. It is what it is. But some of these games will be very, very close, Kevin. These should be great matchups.
Yes, I am intrigued. Maybe I'll watch them. I don't know if any have been really good. Like, I'm trying to remember a good play-in game.
The first play-in between the Warriors and Memphis, I think I think Memphis was a 10 or a 9, and the Warriors were in a 7 or an 8, and it was to get the 8 seed. That game was amazing. And then last year, OKC Pelicans, I think, was really good.
Okay, I think I remember that happening. But yeah, no, we'll see. And we have the in-season tournament Lakers in the tournament. That's how turn the tables are, as they're the best team in the mid-season. Now they are here.
Or they just cared a lot more about it than other teams in the league, like I kind of anticipated.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, so where do you want to start?
Let's start in the East, because I think this is a little more clear-cut, even though it's not perfect. 76ers versus Heat. I went with Heat. I think the Heat know they need to get the 17, and so do the 76ers. I'm concerned that Embiid's still not 100%, and Bam will be able to guard him. And this, while it's not the playoffs technically, playoff Jimmy Butler should show up for this game.
Yeah, this is kind of what the Heat have adapted. They did it last year, and if you look at it, if I have the Heat winning as well, but it's also, I think they're going to be ready for it because they see the path. You got the Knicks, who they faced in the playoffs last year, and then if they get past that, they either face the Bucks or the Pacers, I believe, correct?
Yeah, so their path is clear cut if they can do it.
So it'd be pretty similar. And yeah, I agree with Embiid. Is he going to be healthy? But he's also facing a tough matchup with Bam Adebayo. And how does Maxey play in the playoffs as a true second option? We've seen him play well in the playoffs, but that was before he reached this level of notoriety. And there was Harden last year.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited for this, but yeah, I think we can agree it's the Heat.
And then we go to the Hawks and Bulls.
I think the Bulls are the better team. Trae Young should be back, I believe, by the Hawks, but we saw the Bulls play the Knicks on the last day of the regular season. Kobe White played well. DeMar, I know they don't have Zach LaVine, but Vooch played well as well. I'm just not that confident in this Hawks team. They have one of the worst defenses in the league. And if you also remember, Kevin, we were watching the games together. We did not watch the Pacers game, but the Pacers played the Hawks, and the Pacers dropped 157 points. I'm just not confident in how the Hawks are looking at the moment, so I went with the Bulls.
That is fair. I went with the Hawks because it seems like the Hawks, like the Bulls, like to play in the play-in, and they talked about, like, hey, we just need to turn it on for the play-in. I think they're going to do that. So I have them winning and facing the Sixers.
Yeah, I have Sixers Bulls. You have Sixers Hawks. So who do you have in that matchup?
I have Sixers winning.
Yeah, I do as well. I don't think it really matters who the Bulls, between the Bulls or Heat, not the Bulls or Heat, Bulls or Hawks. I think the 76ers will end up demolishing them. They don't really have someone in the paint. I mean, like I said, the Hawks defense has been atrocious this year. The Bulls, Vooch is not the worst defender in the league for centers, but he's definitely not one of the greatest. So I think the 76ers kind of roll through it. And so the 7 seed would be the Heat, and the 8 seed would be the 76ers for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like that. And it just seems like the way it's going to be. And I like the chances with the Sixers because of the guards as well for Maxey, because I'm not sure about Embiid, but it would be easier for Embiid either way, as you talked about. But now I think we can go to Warriors Kings, which was a playoff series and an exciting playoff series. And I'm excited to see how the play-in game goes.
I went with the Warriors, but I could see the Kings winning this too. This was, like you said, the 2-7 matchup from last year, and how they have both fallen from, or no, this was 3-6, right? This was 3-6 because the Lakers were the 7. The Lakers were the 7. This was 3-6.
I thought Lakers were.
No.
I thought
The Lakers were
a
definitely in
higher
the play-in. I remember the Lakers were in the
play-in last year.
last year.
Would that be 2022 playoffs or 2020?
Play-in, 2023 play-in. I believe the Lakers were in that.
I thought the Lakers were a high seed.
The Lakers were not a high seed. I know that. The Lakers were low. They were either 6 or 7, and I think they were 7. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me check out.
I'm pulling it up. My Wi-Fi is weird for some reason.
Yeah, they were the 7 seed.
They were
The
the
Lakers
seed.
were.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lakers were the 7 seed. So, yeah, because the Warriors, after they beat the Kings, so that was 3-6. So this was a 3-6 matchup that's now in the play-in. And, the Warriors were 60 when the Lakers beat them. But, yeah, both of those teams we just mentioned who made it to the second round last year are now in the play-in. But the Kings versus the Warriors, I went with Warriors, like I said. I think their experience will be key here. But the key to the game is Sabonis for me. He's struggled in the playoffs previously, but if he could turn it on here without a premier guy in the paint, besides, I guess, Draymond, to guard Sabonis, and it's one game, I could see this going either way. I'm going to go with the Warriors, though.
Yeah, I could see it going one way, but this is kind of where you rely on your star players. You mentioned Sabonis. Can he bring it? I feel like I can expect Steph Curry to bring it, and I think he's just going to be getting hot. Oh, it is one game. He just needs to get hot for one game, and he's been hot for playoff series and playoff runs. So I expect him to be ready for this, and I think he'll help lead the Warriors because I just don't depend on anyone else. You do have Clay, but when you're thinking star player, I think of Curry. Clay isn't really that star player anymore. He is still a great player. It's just not that dynamic player anymore.
Yeah. So let's go to Pelicans-Lakers. This is a 7-8 matchup. The Lakers did end up dismantling the Pelicans heading into the play-in. This meant that the Pelicans would have to be in the play-in. If they had won, they would have the better record than the Suns, but that's not what happened. The Suns ended up beating the Timberwolves, so now the Suns escaped the play-in, and they're in the playoffs, guaranteed. Pelicans, Lakers, who do you got?
I got Lakers.
Okay. I went with Pelicans. I think their last game against the Lakers was kind of a fluke. I still believe in Zion and CJ McCollum and their defense with Herb Jones and obviously Brandon Ingram. The Lakers can be one of the one of the streakiest teams in all of the NBA. If they have it on, they have it on. But if they don't, I could really see them faltering here.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I think it's going to be a much closer game. But like I talked about Curry, I see LeBron. And also, it's just one game Anthony Davis has to be healthy for. It's not a whole series.
Yeah, I one thing I did see, we talked about it before, ESPN had a whole thing about, do you intentionally lose to not face the Nuggets so that you can get the 8 seed to play the Thunder? And while I, technically speaking, would rather play the Thunder than the Nuggets, you do not intentionally lose a game that can guarantee you a playoff spot to play in a game that you could miss the playoffs entirely. So
Yeah.
You are trying to win this game no matter what. Even if you would rather play the Thunder just like I would, you're trying to win the game to play the Nuggets because it's more important than anything else.
Yeah, you as a player, and like coach, you should always be like, we gotta play. We just
Yeah.
gotta play to win. It's
Because
when I go
you're
into
always
tanking
confident
like
in your
GM.
team.
Yeah. And like you never know in a playoff series. It has become very predictable, except last year was different. It was the first time since 2007 where the number 1 seed lost to
Yeah.
the 8th seed. So anything can really happen. So yeah, I'm always just like go win and see what happens. And then I'll go here. So I have Warriors facing the Pelicans. You have Warriors facing the Lakers. I'm gonna have the Warriors win.
In mine, you have LeBron versus Curry for one game. The game would be in LA. And I'm taking the Lakers. I think the Lakers are a more complete team. I'm worried about the Warriors in a matchup like this because, again, AD is so good in the paint. And I don't know necessarily if Draymond or whoever will be in the paint can guard him. Trish Jackson-Davis will probably be center for them. But I think the Lakers get it done. And so it's Lakers versus Thunder, yeah. So I have Pelicans at 7, Lakers at 8. You have Lakers at 7, Warriors at 8.
Warriors at 8. And yeah, I just think that would be a great matchup. I am concerned about the Warriors. They're just not as cohesive, but I think they can string it together for the play-in. I don't think they can do it in the playoffs for a series.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take. In this matchup, they'd be playing the Thunder, but the Thunder are inexperienced. This is their first playoff appearance with the majority of those people on that roster, so it could go either way still.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's all we got. And any final thoughts before we close out?
Nope, I'm ready for the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for the playoffs. I got my stress pillow ready. It's been handy the past few months. So that's all we got. We appreciate you listening. Of course, we'll have our analysis, and we'll clown our own predictions if it doesn't go right. But that's why we watch. And make sure you're following in the comments. Make sure you're following our socials. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.